Well, hey, friends, and those of you that are here live, thank you for jumping on. I know it's last minute for some of you. Some of you, we've had these conversations and it's not new. And for those of you that get to watch the recording, this is a very special and sensitive moment for me. This is a big turning point, fork in the road for my life. And I'm coming from it with a lot of gratitude and optimism because I know whatever happens is going to be good. I'm not sure which because there's two very distinct paths. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm kind of giving it up to spirit. Um, and basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes to go through a little bit of the story, like the history, the memories we've had, and where we are now. And I'm going to give you an update of what the current situation and those two options. Option one is basically I'm going to find the next steward of this property. They're going to carry the torch and they're going to be the next caretaker of this beautiful land. But I've also been in conversations for over a year with a handful of really amazing people that have the same vision and they want to do something like this. And we've been talking about how we could collaborate and partner. So within the next few months, the property is listed, so it's on the market. So the next few months, I'm going to be talking to the investors and fielding fielding offers. We've already had a couple of showings. So this is really just a chance for me to let my community know because if I do sell, I would love to sell to somebody who has the same heart. I would love to find somebody who can carry the vision. John is a great example of that. He's got something like this that's been on his mind for many, many years. And someone like him could be the perfect partner or the perfect torchbearer. So let me Alex. All right, we're going to move on to the build option. And this is the option that Troy and I've been working on. It's very exciting. We're going to be going over what we call the pitch deck, which is a kind of a abbreviated version of the opportunity as an investor, what you would be getting yourself into, what's the potential. So let me share my screen and we'll go through that and then we'll open it up for questions. All right, here we go. All right. So the reason I still totally love this property beyond words is that in a beautiful time of health and safety, it's an amazing retreat for healing and an off-grid place that I live on a retreat every day. It's like being on a resort. But when you look at the world right now and you've got world calamities with whatever it's fire or whether it's war or whether it's finances, it's like if the shit hits the fan, the reason I built this property off grid is so I would have a safe haven. And really, what I want to do is no one wants to be on a safe haven by themselves. And that's why it's weird right now because I'm up here by myself. And so, what I really want to do is if I'm going to build this, I want to build it with a team. And so what that would look like is building a off-grid boutique eco retreat center with short-term rentals. STR stands for short-term rentals. So the idea is I would contribute three of the four lots, 29 acres. I would keep the lot with the cabin. Instead of keeping the well lot, which is this one here up on the top right, I would keep the 10-acre lot with the cabin on it and live on it and be the on-site general manager. So I'm going to donate about $2 million worth of land and about $100,000 worth of timber. And what I'm looking for is partners that can meet me, invest, and cover the development costs, which is 1.95 as well. So the total project is about $4 million, just round it up. Now, the four pillars of Sierra Sanctuary have always been healing the nature, healing the forest, being regenerative forester, regenerative health, doing wellness and health, and doing events. But it all leads, those three things lead to the big cash cow, which is the retreat rentals. So by building rentals, this would basically become the office. I would live here, I would be on-site manager, I would kind of have a head office, but we would be building cabins that could rent to other people. So what does that look like? Well, it would be I'll show you pictures in a second, but we're going to build four A-frame luxury cabins. They are officially called DADs, detached auxiliary dwellings. And one of the cool things is if we keep this simple and we don't have to change a lot of permits or get special zoning or anything like that, we can just use standard general rural permits, which is by right. We don't have to get any special. We could just follow the current parameters and we could build a, a, a DAD on the bottom right. You can see we have an A-frame. DAD number one, that's one of our first cabins. And then on that same plot, we would build a big dome, a 42-foot event space dome. So we would be able to rent that for Airbnb, but also more valuable for big events, weddings, ceremonies, etc. The next lot over would be DAD number two, which would be by the well. And we would have the cabin there. We'd have the sweat lodge and a little teepee for camping. So this is going to be kind of the Native American village. You keep going around the corner and you get to the current parking lot where a lot of us park our stuff. We always park down there where the equipment is. That's where we're going to build DAD number three. We're going to build another A-frame cabin, put in a well, and DAD 4, which would be on my lot, the 10-acre lot, I'm going to rent that little pad to the partnership, to the LLC, and we're going to build on my land. So I'll maintain the ownership of that 10 acres, but I'm going to lease long-term lease to the partnership so they can have the land there. And we'll do the same thing for the parking lot. We're going to build a parking lot on my 10 acres, and I'll rent that space to the partnership. And then what we're going to be doing this summer is while we are getting the permits and getting ready to build everything and getting the foundation, we're going to harvest a bunch of trees up here at the top of this page. You can see where the tents are, where the festival space used to be, where the turnaround is. That's where all the harvesting is going to be this summer. We're going to be harvesting the whole top 20, 30% of this picture and turning that wood into both firewood that we can burn, but also, and we could sell and that we can use, but also timber that we can have milled. And then while it sits and cures this year, we can turn it into the cabins, into the structures that we need next year. So let me give you a vision of one of the things we want to do is make it super easy. So we found kits. We found these A-frame cabin kits. There's a big one that is almost 1,000 square feet, 968 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And we're going to rent that for $500 a night. And then we're going to have a little medium-sized one, 1-bedroom, 1-bath. That will be 730 square foot. And then we're going to have one kit that's a dome. And we've talked to these vendors. We've got good relationships. We know how they can be built. And these kits make it really easy to pop up and finish the structure. That means we can have it done within a year or year and a half is the estimate that we have. And then we can start renting and making money. So let's move into the financial side real quick. We're not going to go into detail. I have Troy here, so if you have any questions, he's going to be happy to answer. But basically, the development costs are primarily into developing the land, the site, the cabins, the infrastructure, and then some budgets to operational. So as we open up the operational budget, okay, we're going to need to pay some taxes. We have some permits to do. The general manager, which is me, I need to get paid because this is going to be a full-time job. I'm going to be running it. We've got cleaning crews. So we've got a bunch of expenses on the left here, everything mapped out. But the bottom line is when I started looking at having this filling up the rooms, right? How do you primarily you make money here is by having occupancy. So I started doing some market research. This one here on the left, Live Oak Lake, a guy bought 5 acres. He invested, what did he invest? He invested $138,000. He built 7 cabins, mini cabins, similar to the ones we're talking about. And for 2.1 million total, he achieved a gross revenue of 1 million his first year with a 94% occupancy. 18 months later, he sold the whole village, 7 cabins for $7 million. Now, I'm not sure I want to sell, but the revenue is good. Another one, Onera, they did tree houses. This guy from Texas bought 20 acres. He built 28 tree houses, very unique. You can see the picture here. It's kind of like hanging over the edge. And their first year, they had a 76% occupancy. So 94% for the first guys, 76% for the second guys. Again, making great cash flow, but then also raised a bunch of money. 5.2 million came in from investors that wanted to help him expand. So that's an option. We can expand this. We can do phase 1 with 5 units, we can definitely expand for phase two. And just to show you this other one, postcards, they have these postcard cabins. These unique properties don't not work. They always work. I'm talking to a guy who specializes in this field, and I asked him on a scale of one to 10, how probability is a success. He goes, in your location with this kind of a unique property that's off grid, people want eco retreats, eight or nine out of 10. So when I look at the market research and we see that there's nothing like this in this area, nothing at all. These are some pretty good numbers. So what you're looking at here is the revenue from the cabin rentals and the event space rentals, which is at the bottom. So the SDR rental total is 535 if we're conservative, meaning a 60% occupancy. Or if we go a little more aggressive, it's 72%, still not very aggressive. 72% would be a $642,000 gross year one. And then another couple, 100,000, 150,000 from events. And now we have a nice, good cash flow. We have a nice projection. And if we can constantly get better and if you get more and more occupancy, get up to 85%, now we're getting to a significant $1 million plus, business. So where you have like a nice business that's constantly bringing in cash flow, low risk from my perspective. I think it's very low risk. But that's just based on the feedback that I've been getting, the research I've done. So we recommend everyone do your own research. This is not a formal guarantee of anything. This is a presentation of what my vision is and where we're going. And we'd love to talk to you more about it. But one unique thing that we've done is we found that because we're so into ceremonies and plant medicines and being able to do things that are not only focused on profit, where we can actually focus on purpose, by creating this ministry, it's a 508c1a. It gives us the ability to not only have freedom from tax advantages and things like that, but First Amendment freedom. So we can do ceremonies, medicine journeys, sweat lodges. Yes, we'll take advantage of some taxes, but we can also do donations and we can raise money and we can do special things for our first responders and our veterans. We can have charities and fundraisers and, people are donating. So this is really something special, having that church entity. But then there's one more thing I want to finish before we kind of open it up for questions is that, that what if scenario, if you have to bug out and you have to hunker down and you have to have a place, you need power, you need water, you need heat, you need food, you need shelter, and you need some food. And so the plan for this would be is the owners, people that are coming in and investing, are going to come in minimum of $100,000. And the lead investors will come in with $500,000 or more. And people that come in on a higher level will have first right of refusal for one of the cabins as we finish these cabins. And if there is an oh shit situation and people need to bug out, the safe haven will we'll close the rentals. We'll give the partners first right of refusal. Those people that can come here and stay with their family until things normalize. The last part here is that when we build this, the real goal is to build something that can be a legacy and that can last for decades and hold on to it. So that's there is really primary exit strategy is to hold it and make it be a cash cow and keep growing it and maybe have satellites. But if we needed to, we could refinance in a few years. We could cash out, we could pull some money out, we could start, expanding, or we could do a special use permit, which is option number 3, which would be spend another maybe $20,000 in easements and permitting, but then we could grow the plan. We could turn it into a special, it's called a resort destination. Our area is already pre-zoned for that. So you get that special use permit and you can build whatever you want, a restaurant, a ski lift. I mean, you could really make it into anything. And of course, there is always the option of selling. So that would be the option as one of the exit strategies as well. So to kind of wrap it up, we are looking for partners. We're looking for a win-win partnership. It's not something that I'm just looking for just flat out money. I want somebody who really wants to live up here with me. I want people who really want to at least come visit, at least couple of, weeks out of the year, come visit, come to the events, maybe lead some events. A lot of the people that want to do this are leaders and healers. So I'm looking for those people that are leaders and healers and maybe want to see something special like this happen. What we're going to do is basically connect you with Troy. and myself will set up a call. Make sure you review all the material. We have on the website that you registered for tonight. After you register, there's a pitch deck. So make sure you review the pitch deck and then get on a call with us and let's walk the property. That's probably the coolest thing is walking the property and visualizing and dreaming a little bit. Troy, what, just give us a little bit of your perspective from being a developer, and fill in any blanks, anything you want. And also anyone who has any questions, feel free to raise your hand, but give us a little developer's perspective.
Yeah, I think you did a really great job summarizing it. I'm glad you did the pitch instead of me because this is at the end of the day, this is your brainchild, your baby that you've been nurturing for quite a long time, and I'm just here to help guide on the financial side and construction side wherever I can. But what you touched on earlier is that there's nothing like this in the Tahoe region. Um, in the Tahoe Basin, around Tahoe, Truckee. There's no like Airbnb villages like this or retreat centers of this type. And so that's just a classic supply and demand curve equation, right? I mean, there's for sure demand. This is up in Tahoe and Reno and the surrounding areas, a very holistic community, lots of holistic community that want retreats, that want healing, sacred spaces. And then you obviously have the ski resort that's almost walking distance, and there's no hotels serving that. And there's hotels down in Reno, but there's no hotels right next to the ski resort. So the 24/7, 365 Airbnb offering that's going to give you hospitality offerings in the summer and in the winter is, it's again this the supply and demand. So you got high demand, low supply, which gives you, a more risk averse project.
And there's this other trend that's happening right now. I know, I think we've talked about it before. Gary V, he's a social media expert. He's talking about like um, unplugging is one of the biggest trends for 2026. People really are tired of being tethered to their computers and their screens, and they're going to start paying extra good to go to a restaurant where they take your phone at the door. And you'll pay extra to unplug. So to come up to nature like this and unplug for whether it's a day or a weekend or whatever, it's pretty amazing. So last thing I want to say is that this story is not over. Before we wrap it up, are there any questions? Only a couple of people left. All right, cool. Let me go and share this last screen here because the party's not over. To be let's see. Oh, I want to show you this. So part of the listing, I'm listing not only the land but also this
So
equipment
living
stack.
up the mountains, this is a workhorse. It's a super valuable piece of equipment. It's a Bobcat S650. It's a high flow. It's got brand new tires. Got chains. You're going to need those in the wintertime. Got the hydraulic high flow. Got a fully enclosed cage with the heater. It's nice. Lights in the front, lights in the back. This is also a super important piece of equipment. It's a professional 7-foot snow blower with an auger, fully remote control Bobcat, only a couple years old. Great piece of equipment. Grappling winch, you can grab rocks and shrubs and trees. Of course, every Bobcat needs a bucket. And then on this one right now, we have the forks, which is to move stuff around and tow stuff. We also would be open to selling the snowplow. Has a nice, beautiful, this is a Western Pro V. It's got a great setup. Got a nice little easy attach system. You can clip it off and put it on. It's got its own feet. It's a nice system. Truck, I'd be open to selling truck as well. I'll put that up in the package. And these are some chippers, brand new. It's only been used for, I don't know, 10, 20 hours. Wood splitter and other chipper that needs a belt. The belt is broken, you can see there, but it's good old, strong little chipper. This is a winch and standing lift, and that's our whole equipment stack. Bobcat, blower, attachments, snowplow, and a couple of wood chippers. And make sure we get a lot of fun in there.
So here's the screenshot. Take a picture of this. This is the QR code. How can you participate? Well, if you're interested in investing, send me a private message, and me, you, and Troy will get on a call and we'll talk about it. We'll walk the property and see if it's a good fit. If you're interested in buying the property and taking over and carrying the torch, grab this QR code or go to thesierrasanctuary.com. Contact Alex, ask whatever questions you have, schedule a viewing, and we'll go from there. And then the other thing is, if it's not for you, maybe there's somebody who you think should have seen this. Please, I'll post the video recording as soon as possible. Forward the recording to them, or just make an introduction and connect us. And the last thing, if you're not already, join our Sierra Sanctuary support page. We have a volunteer Facebook group where we talk about events. So whenever there's a new event, like the Sweat Lodge is coming back to life, or we got a ceremony or something like that, make sure you're in there. It's called Sierra Sanctuary Support. I will put that link in the chat right now for those of you that are online.
Hey, Greg, what's the timing for investment?
Oh, good question. It's now. It's like basically the way I'm feeling into this, Troy, is I'm surrendering it up to Spirit, and God is going to answer the question, what they want me to do. Do they want me to sell? If so, the right buyer is going to make an offer. If they want me to build, then the right partners are going to make me the right offer. So it's kind of like whatever happens first and whatever feels like hell yes. My guess is it's going to happen within the next couple months. And if it's meant to be, it's going to happen in the next couple months.
All
And
right.
and there's a lot of people that I have, as you know, significant conversations underway with. So I'm more likely that it's going to be one of those people. Maybe someone new will see this and it's like, oh my gosh, Greg, I've been looking for this. But my guess is it's going to be some of the people that we've already been in conversation with. All right.
You will
So
see.
yeah, you never know. I mean, I'm just surrendering it. I'm just throwing it out to Spirit. But something that's kind of cool is either way, I'm excited. For 20 years, I've had this little car here, this little picture of me doing a fifth wheel road trip. I wanted to do this when I first wrote my first book, Stoked. So now it's only, 15 years later, I'm going to do it finally. But either way, I want to have a bug out. I want to have a fifth wheel. So I'm excited either way. So thank you everyone for all your support and prayers. I know that some of you have been there for me when I really needed it. And those of you, whoever takes this vision, it's all about community. It's so much about community. And guess what? There's a built-in community. You've got 1,500 people that have come up to this property that will love it, and we'll do this together. Maybe it'll be us doing it together. Maybe it's you doing it on your own, but either way, I'm always going to be on your team. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you
Thanks,
tonight,
Greg.
John.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. We'll see you tonight. Bye now.
Bye.